just these past 24 hours, 6 children have died and 7 more are in critical condition, not just because of the bombing, but because of the forced starvation that is being imposed on them by the IOF.
As a combat veteran, deeply committed to the principle of ahimsa, the Sanskrit term for nonviolence, my experiences have not only shown me the ravages of war, but have also strengthened my resolve for peace and the protection of all beings.
We've heard repeatedly that there's not much the City Council can do to affect international policy, address Palestine, or what's going on in Gaza. And yet, Bakersfield has a long history of direct financial, material, and military support for Israel.
The blockade has led to a humanitarian disaster, to put it lightly. Every single person is trying to find food, struggling to find food, and water.
And I'm here to ask, if those were your children, would you still be just as silent as now? Or do they have to be safely surrendered for you to care? If it was your homes that were being destroyed by constant airstrikes, would you be just as silent? Or would you actually want someone to speak up for you?
The Rudnick family of Bakersfield have a long and storied history in our city, particularly with aviation, with Eleanor Rudnick being the woman who founded what became the Bakersfield Municipal Airport. Eleanor Rudnick is also the woman responsible for training the first Israeli fighter pilots, who, after training right here in Bakersfield, flew to Palestine to participate in the original ethnic cleansing of my people, El-Nakba, in 1948, which saw nearly 600 Palestinian towns and cities completely eradicated and cleansed of their native Palestinian populations, just as we're seeing happen today in Gaza. This is the legacy of Bakersfield, and it continues to this day with citizens of Bakersfield who are fighting overseas to participate in the ongoing genocide.
Hundreds of letters from people all across Bakersfield have been sent to the city council members demanding that they introduce and pass a resolution calling for a permanent ceasefire to the relentless terrorist bombing campaign being funded by U.S. taxpayer dollars.
I am highly disappointed in all of you sitting here. You say you care about people. There are innocent children, men and women dying, and you have done nothing. You have said nothing. You can sit here and look at all your computers and look emotionless. There are people dying. They're starving and asking everyone for help, and you sit there and do nothing.
The pain of witnessing senseless destruction of your home and the lives of your loved ones. How would you cope with this overwhelming injustices? For the last 142 days, the fathers, the mothers, and the children of Gaza have changed what it means to be called a hero. They've set the bar higher than any of us could ever reach, and they continue proving to the world that Palestinians will never be defeated.
It has been 35 days since multiple community members first came here to ask that you all do the bare minimum to stand with the Palestinians in our community. Your continued silence after given multiple opportunities to easily use your influence to speak out and uplift our Palestinian community makes you even more complicit in this genocide.
2 weeks ago, I came and spoke under the name of Bisan Auda. Bisan is a 24-year-old journalist reporting the horrific atrocities happening to her own people in Gaza. She is documenting a live genocide, and this voice memo was from Bisan 2 weeks ago.
East us to Egypt, to the north of Egypt, to Sinai Desert, we will just die. We will die. I don't know why you guys are watching without doing anything to end this. Just end it, just stop it, stop it, stop it, in any price, stop it, at any cost, stop it, just stop it for anything. Just stop this. It's a nightmare. I can't continue just thinking about the displacement more and more. It's a nightmare, and I can't keep it. I can't keep it. I can't keep alive while thinking of being displaced more and more. I just want to go back to my home.
Aaron Bushnell, an active member of the U.S. Air Force, he was not able to look away. He was able to recognize the absolute horrors that our country is complicit in, and he refused to be any part of it.
I'm a former cadet of the Air Force Academy, and I'm autistic. And like Greta Thunberg, I have mutism, which means I only speak when truly necessary. And now is not one of those times, because the words have already been said by Aaron Bushnell. And I would invite everyone in the room to raise their hand if they condemn the murder of Palestinian people. Well, I yield to Aaron Bushnell.
Is Aaron Bushnell. I am an active duty member of the United States Air Force, and I will no longer be complicit and genocide. I'm about to engage in an extreme act of protest, but compared to what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers, it's not extreme at all. This is what our ruling class has decided will be normal. Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Free Palestine! Man's on fire! Man's on fire!
That is all.
He chose to make the ultimate sacrifice in the hopes that our soulless leaders, including all of you here, would finally open your eyes to find your humanity and call for an end to this genocide. If you won't listen to the cries of the thousands of Palestinian children that are suffering, maybe you will listen to the final words of this brave soldier, which were free Palestine.
Horrifically, a U.S. active duty airman who you just listened to burned to death recently became the second person to pour gasoline everywhere on their body and set themselves on fire to protest the genocide of Palestinians since it has been escalating for several months. This man, Aaron Bushnell, who graduated at the top of his class and had been moving up the ranks since entering the United States Air Force, is being smeared as just another broken, crazy person
Mr.
you
Higuera.
should disregard.
Mr.
But the
Higuera, your
people
time
aren't
is up.
going to let that happen. Just how we're not going to
Mr.
let you
Higuera,
all act
your
like
time is up.
Palestine
Please
isn't
bring
a
your
Bakersfield
comments to a
issue.
close.
Andre Gonzalez, if you or any other coward you rub elbows with still think this, you will soon realize
Mr. Higuera.
that you're dead wrong.
It is your human obligation to see, when you see something wrong that is happening, to say something about it. It's your obligation, Andre. I am highly disappointed in you. You have been in my home. You have been in my home. My mother counts you as a friend. I hope she no longer does. You say, we don't have time for foreign policy stuff? It's not foreign policy stuff. People are dying. Point blank, period.
Week after week, you say that you don't have time to deal with this foreign policy stuff, but Karen Go seems to have plenty of time to make Instagram reels and throw money around with the rich to be relatable on social media. You guys seem to have time to celebrate the opening of a corridor that only goes from west to east, giving access to the rich part of town to the rest of the city, but conveniently not from east to west, which would do the opposite, give the poor side of town access to the rest of the city.
Our silence, your silence, in the face of these atrocities does not align with the values of Bakersfield City.
Let me describe to you one of the worst feelings during war. Before a bomb drops, it makes a whistle sound as it's falling from the sky. It sounds so close and loud, it is the most terrifying because you don't know if it's going to fall on you. So you stand there confused. Do I run? Do I sit? Is it going to fall on me? Will I be in pieces? Am I gonna die immediately? Will I lose all my limbs? What about my family? What do I do and where do I go? You feel so helpless at that moment. I can't fully convey the feeling. It's been 9 years and I still dream about the bombs. And that same feeling of hopelessness comes to my dreams. Why is our blood so cheap to you? Why do we all have to beg for a ceasefire as if the Palestinians are not worth living? They're more deserving of life than everyone refusing to pass for a ceasefire in this room. I demand a call for a ceasefire. I am Bisan Aude and just stop it. I request from everyone in this room to raise their hand if they condemn the murders of Palestinian men, women, and children.
Thank you. Your time is up. Just so you all know, listen.
So I ask everyone in this room to please raise your hands if you condemn the murder of Palestinian men, women, and children. Come on, Eric, Ken, Bob, Karen.
And again, just a reminder.
Andre, Bruce, Patty, any of you guys condemn murder? No?
Just a reminder, the council does not engage like that with the audience. Thank you. Next speaker, please.
I am beyond the niceties of saying that I hope this never happens to you, because it seems that for anybody here to care, they would only care if it happens to them. So I hope that one day you might have to endure this complete erasure of everything you've ever known. The slaughter of your friends and family, the dehumanization of your people, as your cries fall on deaf ears, unwilling to do so much as even mutter a single word in feigned support. As you saw as disruptive recently, you have not begun to see disruptive. Free Palestine from the river to the sea, all support to armed resistance against the forces of fascism in Israel and Zionism wherever they are, and may the Zionist settler colony of Israel one day burn.
Karen, last city council meeting, repeatedly, you keep telling us that we act inappropriately. How the hell do you expect us to react when all of you refuse to condemn the killing of our family and our friends? This is just the start of it. You have not seen inappropriate yet.
Karen Go, it is shameful that you and the council members have celebrated a safe surrender proclamation for infants when you remain silent, complicit in the murder of mothers, newborns, and unborn babies in Gaza. Why are you selective about which babies deserve your solidarity? I request from everyone in this room to raise your hand or stand if you condemn the murder of Palestinians, women, and children. Please stand now if you condemn the killing of Palestinians. Please stand or raise your hand proudly if you condemn the killing of Palestinian civilians, newborns, and mothers.
City Council chose side. Specifically the House.
You're being disruptive.
City Council chose a side.
You need to stop right now. You are disrupting the meeting. If you do not stop right now, officers, we are going to take a recess. Please clear the chairs.
They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. 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 They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side.
They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side.
They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side.
They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side. They chose
Genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide.
City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide. City Council chose a side. They chose genocide.
Karen Go lied to your faces yet again. She said, we cannot engage with the audience. Matt Creekar is the only person who continued to raise her hand, despite Karen Go lying, saying they cannot. Israel bombs! USA pays! Israel bombs! USA pays! How many kids have you killed today? How many kids have you killed today?
Complacency is complicity. If you call Andre Gonzalez your friend, you are my enemy. If you call Karen Go your friend, you are my enemy. Because they sat there and they couldn't do the simple thing of raising their hand.
Shame! Shame!
So shame on you.
Shame on you!
Shame on you.
Shame on you.
You have blood on your heads too. Shame on you! You have blood on your heads too! Shame on you! You have blood on your heads too! Shame on you!
Family members who are killed in Gaza. There's over 40,000 deaths. Half of them are children. 2 million people displaced, and you can't even look me in the eye when I call when I'm talking to you.